you're watching this video, then my guess is that you're an immigrant or you live in Canada already, but you just want to gain some information as regards to your finances as an immigrant in Canada. Well, look no further, you're in the perfect place. In this video, I'll be talking about different ways you can save your money in Canada, the different types of savings accounts that there is available, taxes, different types of taxes in Canada, and finally things to do to build your credit score as an immigrant in Canada. If you are interested in all of that, then stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not yet subscribed already. And I'll leave you guys to watch the video. Bye. Today's video, as the title said, we're talking about what you need to know about your finances as a Canadian immigrant. Yes, we talk about getting a job. When you get the jobs, what next? When you start having those finances, what is actually the next step? As an immigrant, one of the first things you need to do is to open a bank account. A bank account would help you to deposit, withdraw money, and pay your bills. Most banks offer newcomers package, which can help you get started. To open a bank account, for most banks, you need some identification documents, which will be your passport, your permit, or even your permanent residency card if you're a permanent resident in Canada, as well as your address to be able to open a bank account. Now that you've opened a bank account, with managing your finances in Canada, one thing that we cannot stress enough is saving. You need savings for a lot of things. There are different savings accounts that you can leverage for your benefit, and I'm here to tell you about them. In picking a savings account, it is best that you pick the one that best suits your needs, because all these different accounts are not for everyone. Some of them would cater more to your needs than others. And the first type of savings account is a high interest savings account. A high interest savings account is basically an account that will earn you more interest on your savings than other accounts. Most of these high interest accounts are newer banks like the Neo Financial, the EQ banks. Those banks would usually give you higher interest on your money than the traditional banks that have been here for a longer time. So if you're trying to get more interest on your money, then you should leverage on those high interest accounts. The second type of bank accounts are the tax-free savings accounts. Tax-free savings accounts are accounts where you can save your money, invest your money, and pay no taxes on the interest that you earn on these accounts. For a tax-free savings account, you can contribute up to a certain limit. Your limit will depend on your age and how long you have had that account for. To confirm how much your TFSA yearly contribution limit is, log into your CRA account, that's your Canada Revenue Agency account. It can be found there. The next is an RRSP. RRSP basically means Registered Retirement Savings Plan, and this is an account that is made for Canadians to save towards their retirement. When you save money through your RRSP, you actually get tax returns from that money. If you want to understand how that works better, you can do your research on that. But basically, it's assumed that the money that you pay towards your RRSP, you didn't earn it that year. So when the government is calculating your earned income, they will subtract that amount, and then you would get your taxes that you paid on the amount that you contributed to your RRSP back as your tax return. You can also use the money that you saved towards your RRSP to buy your first home in Canada, but you have to pay that back within 15 years. If you don't pay back, you only have to pay back the taxes that you were giving back and not the entire money. You only need to pay back the taxes. So if you're young, you haven't gotten your first house yet, you can leverage on the RRSP program to save money, also get more tax back, that's in your tax return, and save towards your first house if that's a goal that you're working towards. We have the Registered Education Savings Plan, that is RESP, which is an account that people use to save for their kids' education. So you can open this account if you want to save towards your kids' education. The contributions made towards an RESP is not tax deductible. So basically you don't pay tax, but investments made with an RESP will be tax deductible when withdrawn. So you don't pay any taxes on this money until you withdraw it from the account. It's also important to note that the government would provide grants to help you save towards your child's education, and they would also match whatever you save up to a certain percentage. So this encourages you to save for your child's education, because education in Canada is quite expensive compared to other countries. So it's better the earlier you start, the better. And it also makes more sense because you're going to be getting government grants. Government is also willing to match up whatever you save for your child up to a certain percentage. Before you open any bank account, it's very important that you look out for different banks that are out there, what they are offering when it comes to the rates, fees, and all charges involved with having a bank account before you choose an account, because you want to choose something that is best for you, works well for you, and especially as a new immigrant, you don't want to be paying so much money on fees because a lot of the money that you saved, you would need it in the future. So the better the deal you can get, the better for you. The next thing we'll be talking about is taxes in Canada. I'm sure as an immigrant, you've probably heard like ridiculous things about taxes in Canada. It's bad, it's a lot. Compared to US, it's this, it's that. But we'll talk a little bit about that in this video. In Canada, everyone must file a tax return every year. And as an immigrant, you probably are not aware of the different types of taxes that there are. Well, you're in the right place. There is the federal tax, provincial tax, goods and services tax, and harmonized sale tax. So basically, four types of taxes. The amount you pay for your taxes depends on your income and your expenses. It's important to track your income and expenses so that you can file your taxes correctly, especially if you have a business. That way, you're not paying too much, or rather, in the future, you get served a bill by the Canadian government telling you that you haven't been paying your taxes. So it's very important that you are tracking your tax you're tracking your expenses appropriately. If you're not sure how to file your tax, you can always outsource that service. My personal favorite is TurboTax. It's an online platform where someone can file your taxes on your behalf and you pay them a fee. Or you can visit a store or an office where they file taxes in your city. I prefer TurboTax because that's what I've always used, and this video is not sponsored, by the way. If you're having trouble navigating the financial system in Canada, don't hesitate to ask for help. There are different resources to help you out with your finances. In your local bank, there's always a financial advisor that is there to help you if you need advice with knowing what accounts to open up, things that you should do. And also, when it comes to filing your taxes, if you don't know how to file your taxes, you can get help with filing that. You don't have to do it yourself. Some people do it themselves, but you don't have to do it yourself, especially when you don't know what you're doing. So be willing to pay for those services. By the way, the financial advisor in your bank is totally free in most banks. Next, we'll talk about building credits. Building credits, importance of credits, and why you need to build your credit. As an immigrant, you're probably coming from a country where having a good credit score, or even any conversation regarding credit, is not even a conversation at all because there's really no credit system. If that's your case, I'm also with you because my home country would had nothing to do with credit. Building your credit in Canada is very important for when you want to take out loans, buy a house, get a car, or even rent an apartment. So that's why you need your credit score to be really good, so that companies will look at your credit score and look and see you as a reliable person, a responsible person, and they'll be willing to borrow you their money for whatever venture you are looking to venture into. As a newcomer, you might not have any credit history because if you're anything like me, you're probably coming from a country where there are no credits, whatever. But one way you can build your credit score is by getting a credit card, getting a lease on your phone, leasing a car, or basically getting something on credit. But these are the popular ones: getting a car, getting a phone, and getting a credit card. That way, you are building your credit score. And if you eventually in the future, actually, I don't think you can even rent a car without having credit score. No, you can't. So just ignore what I said. The one way you can build your credit score is by getting a credit card. That way, in the future, when you want to get a car or even make bigger expenses, those companies can look at you and say that you're a responsible person and they're willing to give you their money. And also get a credit card with a co-signer. But personally, I really don't like the idea of having someone co-sign on your debt, especially if you're not that close to the person. But a co-signer is basically someone that is willing to pay for your credits or your debts when you are unable to pay. Some apartments would actually require you to get a co-signer before they would approve you for an apartment. But so far, I have not had any issues with that, meaning that there are apartments that you don't need to get any co-signer. You can just show your proof of funds and they would rent the apartments to you. But then some apartments actually require that. Those are the basic things that you would need as an immigrant coming to Canada. In this video, I was very interested in sharing with you the different types of savings accounts you can open, because I know that this information I did not learn it, and I know a lot of people don't even know about different savings accounts you can open in Canada. So yeah, that's it about that. If you guys want me to make more videos around this topic, finances in Canada, things that you should know about your finances in Canada, please let me know in the comment section. Like I said, it's free, it's open. Just leave your comments and I'll make sure to get back to you guys. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys. Mwah.